Okay. Hello, good afternoon. This is your coach Sami Tan, and welcome to How to Budget for Your Goals. This seminar is brought to you by Good to Great or G2G8, which stands for Good to Great. Your life may be good, but it can be great, no? So, if you remember 2 weeks ago, nag-seminar tayo on how to make your life goals. And we said today, now it's time to set another milestone, and that is to budget for your life goals. No? And 2 weeks ago, pinag-usapan natin that we should set goals for 7 areas of our life. And itong 7 areas can include career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social. And although we focus on 3 goals lang, family, financial, saka personal growth, but why should we plan for 7 areas of our life? Because some of our motivation are in the other areas of our life. And we want to make goals that are holistic, no? And well-rounded to our purpose. So kung puro financial kasi puro family, it's sometimes very selfish, tayo lang ang tinitingnan natin, no? We're not looking at other people. So we have to set goals looking outside with other purposes para well-rounded ang life natin, no? And we also mentioned that we should set 3 types of goals, no? Long-term, medium-term, short-term goals. And we should always start with setting yung long-term goals. Dahil yung long-term goals is the one that set our ultimate direction, no? And we also mentioned the secrets of making good long-term goals. We mentioned that it must excite and challenge you. It must be very exciting, no, for you to move. It must be stated in the present tense. Money and other limitations should not be an issue. So wag niyong pag-iisipan na wala kayong pera. When you set your goals, just focus on making your goals. And lastly, must be specific, measurable, and with time completion. So we set some example of the goals, no? And we set some family goals and financial goals. So I hope ginawa nyo yung exercise and you were able to set long-term, short-term goals because today we will budget your 1-year goal, no? So ito yung itsura ng budget. This is a typical budget, no? So meron siyang at least 4 na category. I don't know kung makikita nyo, but number 1 is the category of income. How much do you earn? Then the next one is debt, ano yung utang nyo. And then the next one is fixed expense. Ito yung expense na every month na nangyayari, no? You don't have to think about it, nandun na siya, like electricity, water, and rental. And then the other is called the variable expense, no? Itong variable, it doesn't happen every month. 4 lang ang category. If you have children, you might have a 5th category, which is children, no? And you might want to expand on it by adding medicine, especially now many people are getting sick. Health and medicine as part of the budget for the goals. So you can be as specific as you want. Kayo na bahala how specific you want to be. But this is just a guide or an example that we will show. How you budget, ganun ang usually how people budget, no? In this example, binigyan natin ng ideal situation, and an ideal situation is that yung budget mo, yung income mo is higher than all your expense and debt, no? So meron kang positive income dito, no? In most cases when people do this budget, in most cases parati negative ang budget. So many people do not know how they get by in life, but somehow they get by because they're able to find other income or other sources of debt so that they get through, no, with their annual budget, no, or monthly budget. Now yung budget nyo, you should state it in a monthly mode, no. Huwag nyo i-state in an annual mode. Although sometimes maganda mag-umpisa sa annual mode because meron mga bagay which you spend annually like children's tuition, hindi naman siya monthly na ni-spend. But yung children's tuition nyo, maganda i-divide nyo to monthly mode. So, ibig sabihin, even though isang beses lang siya, once a year or twice a year binabayaran, but if you divide it to monthly mode, you are setting aside or disciplining yourself to set aside a portion of your income para sa tuition ng anak nyo. Okay, now doing that, it makes more sense, no? So kaya dapat yung budget nyo should be stated on a monthly mode. Now, ang question is, paano mo ibabudget ang goals nyo? Okay, so this is where the next category come in. Sa tabi ng budget nyo, yung kaliwa, yun yung actual or real. Ibig sabihin, yun yung nangyayari na. So, you are already spending this. Tapos doon sa kanan is the goal. So, hindi pa siya nangyayari. So, when you budget for your goals, kung ano yung annual goal nyo or one-year goal, you have to set yung mga details of your annual goal. So, dito sa example ko, meron tayong goal to earn extra income. Kaya lang, usually, when you start planning for this, hindi mo alam saan magagaling ang income mo. So, kung hindi mo pa alam at wala kayong source of extra income, you can leave it blank and then fill it up later. So, ang mabilis mailagay are the goals for the expenses, the one you want to spend for, no? Like for example, you want to buy a new electric bike or an electric car. You want to change your aircon to inverter. You want to buy new clothes. You want to have a trip. Ganon. So, yun mabilis i-plan for, no? So, if you want to plan, let's say you want to have a trip sa December. And so, you want to have a family trips and then you budget for the cost. Anong balak mo? Pumunta sa Boracay, pumunta kung saan-saan, then you can budget for the cost na. Okay? Now, of course, the best is to put it in a monthly form. But minsan nga, you have to make an annual budget first before you are able to divide it sa monthly form, no? Dito, dinivide ko na in monthly form, kaya mukha siyang maliit, no? May mga like yung change aircon to inverter, 3,000. Pero alam natin, an inverter aircon cost 30 plus thousand. Naka-budget na siya in monthly form. The important thing is you are able to list down in details the things that you wanted to do. Okay, so here, binigyan ko ng example, somebody who wanted to start a business, pero saan niya kukunin yung kanyang extra income, no? And here, he decided to sell his old car na ina-amortize pa niya. Meron pa siyang car loan na binabayaran na 12,000 every month. So dahil tumataas na yung gas prices, so he decided to sell his old car and he estimate he will get 120,000 for that, no, sa mga down payment and previous payment. So 120,000, and so meron siyang budget of income to sell car for na meron siyang 20,000 per month na extra income. Then he wanted to start an office. Kaya pagtingin mo sa baba, makikita nyo yung mga office telephone, office electricity, aircon, mga bagong expense to. So, naka-budget na even the office secretary. So, saan niya kukunin yung pera niya? By selling his old car, then buying an electric bike. He can go to his work. He can start an office, another income opportunity, no? And he can start something for selling something sa Shopee or maybe doing something sa internet. He can do that, no? So kaya binudget na natin yung cost, and in an ideal situation nga, in this guy selling the car, positive pa rin yung kanyang budget. Okay, so ideal do. Pero ang real situation is kadalasan karamihan ng tao doon sa left side sa actual situation negative na. Okay, tapos sa right side zero way to fulfill their goals. So ibig sabihin maski binudget nila wala rin silang pera to fulfill it, no? So yun yung usual na nangyayari. So ngayon ang question is then how do you make it happen? Okay? So this is the interesting part. Paano kung wala kang pera? What happens if you are negative in your budget and wala kang pera, no, to make it happen, no? And this is where you exercise your faith muscle and believe and ask, seek, and knock, no? Okay, so ang problem natin kasi is we don't know how to ask, we don't know how to seek, we don't know how to knock, no? Sabi dito, our God has boundless resources. The only limit is in us. Our asking, our thinking, our praying are too small. Our expectations are too limited. Ang problem natin is we only pray for protection against COVID. We only pray for providing for our daily bread, the now. But we don't pray for the future. No? So we don't ask, we don't seek, we don't knock for the future. And many people don't set their goals, so wala silang idea what they're aiming for. Okay, but if you have goals and you're aiming for something in the future, you know your goals is bigger than your problem, no? So sabi dito, be led by your dreams instead of being pushed by problems. Okay, so our problems is very big today if you are just focusing on the now. If you're focusing on what you have currently, the problems that's coming today will overwhelm you. Okay, but if you have a big goal and your goal is to overcome your problem, then your goals are bigger than your problems, no? And nothing will be able to stop you. Now, I give you an example of my long-term goal. And dito sa long-term goal ko, sinulat ko, I am independent in energy, water, fuel, money this July of 2029. Okay? Pero may dinagdag ako dito kasi hindi para sa akin lang to eh. I said, I'm sustaining 70 families in my 70-hectare land in Laguna, December of 2029. So, for 70 families, 70 hectares. So, ngayon, ang question ko, how much will that cost? So being independent in energy, water, fuel, I estimate 50 million. And this 70-hectare land, I estimate 250 million. So 300 million all in all dito pa lang sa dalawa. Okay, ngayon, ang question is this. Meron ba akong 300 million? Of course, wala. Paano kukunin yung 300 million? Siyempre, hindi ko rin alam. Okay? But when you divide it to a one-year goal, ang sinet ko kasi 7-year goal. So sa 2029, today is 2022, pag sinet ko divided by 7 yung 300 million, I come up with the figure 50 million per year. So 1 year I have to earn 50 million. Now, although malaki pa rin yung 50 million, but it's more doable than 300 million, di ba? Now, let's say I set it as a goal, tapos I did not achieve it in 1 year. I achieve it in 3 years. Ano sa tingin niyo mangyayari sa buhay ko? I would be a failure. It would still be an incredible success even if I hit it in 3 years and not 1 year, di ba? So ganun din. Meron akong goal to earn to have a 70-hectare land in 7 years. Even if I don't hit it, I hit it in 15 years. It will still change my life because my goal is bigger than my problem. Before I set the goal, my problem was bigger than my situation, no? Because lumiliit ang income ko dahil tumataas ang gas bill, tumataas lahat. Pero when I saw my goal, now I realize the problem is smaller than my goal. Okay, so kaya na-excite ako, no? So this is how you set long-term goals and then you budget for your goals. Of course, wala tayong time to go for individual budgeting and yung mga specific. But ang ginagawa ko lang is to give you the principle on how you can budget for your goals. My 1-year goal is I stated in the present tense and sinabi ko, I'm thankful and filled with gratitude to my Almighty God as I look at my aggregate income report from my accountant from September 2022 to December 2023, showing that I earned a total of 50 million peso. Okay, so I'm holding the report, I'm sitting on my chair, and I'm imagining yung accountant ko saying, I earn 50 million peso. This is how you budget for your goals. And what will that do if you reprogram your mind to have a bigger goal And what that does is that your mind will start looking for opportunity that are bigger than what you are currently doing. Okay, so if you don't set that, kasi your mind will not look for that. No. Now let's do an exercise. For example, I ask you, okay, can you look around for any object that is blue in color? Tingnan nyo and count how many objects you can find that is blue in color. Sige, bigyan ko kayo ng 10 seconds to look, no? So, go around, you count ilan yung nakita nyo na blue in color all around you. Okay, nagawa nyo na? Okay, my question is, how many things around you are red in color? Okay. So marahil you'll be dumbfounded. You asked me to look for blue and my mind was looking for blue, so I wasn't counting red, no? So hindi ko alam ilan yung red. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. When you program your mind to look for bigger opportunities, your mind will find the bigger opportunity. But if you program your mind to look for smaller opportunities, your mind will find the smaller opportunities, no? Now, after completing the budget, you're able to complete it even if you don't have the money for it as you find solutions to add to your income. Okay, so we don't know how to add to your income, but you're trying to look for solutions. So sometimes the solution can be in the form of selling your old things, no? So madadagdagan yung income mo if you sell your old things, cutting subscription, yung mga ganon, yung mga internet subscription nyo, i-cut nyo, may extra income kayo doon. So the next thing you have to do is you need to translate those goals into habits. Now you want to earn extra income, magkakaroon ka ng bagong office, magbabago yung habit mo. Bakit? Kasi may trabaho ka tapos may trabaho ka, tapos may office ka. So kailangan you have to be early for your office, but you also have to report for work, no? So there's something that will change. So your habit has to change. You have to sleep early, you have to wake up early. Okay, so you have to be able to um, think of 3 to 5 doable things you can do every day to change your habit. No. Now, examples of habit. This book, Atomic Habit, is a recommended read because it shows you na hindi naman mahirap to form a habit. No. It shows us also that all we need to do is change 3% of our life every day. So you don't have to change 25% or 100%. You just need to change 3% every day. And at the end of the year, you would have made a very big change in your life. No? So magandang basahin ito. If you have time, just buy the book and read it. But these are examples of habit. No? Read a self-improvement book every month. Okay, that's a habit. Wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to meditate, no? Kulang ng tea and pray. And do 20-minute exercise after meditation. Or make 5 calls a day to prospect kung kayo ay nasa sales. Okay, so you should create a habit that will support yung balak mong gawin so that you earn the extra income. No? Yung first time na ginawa ko yung budget for my goals, negative budget ako. I remember na 1 million peso in deficit ako. Ibig sabihin, 1 milyon ang kulang ko. So, hindi ko alam kung saan kukunin yung pera, but I went through the exercise nonetheless and I developed habit. I look at my goals every day. And at the end of the year, laking mangha ko when I realized I attained 97% of my goals. And at the end of the year, hindi ko pa rin alam kung paano ko nakamit yung aking goals, no? But I can tell you some things, no? Like for example, meron akong sinulat doon that I need 2 aircons for my rooms. And yung 2 aircons was suddenly given to me. One of my uncle died and yung kanyang bahay may extra aircon. So, tinanong ng nanay ko kung kailangan ko ng aircon. So, all of a sudden, yung goals ko to have 2 aircon was attained without me spending anything. So, totoo yun when you start asking, seeking, and knocking, and you start the habit of expanding yourselves and looking at your goal, you will attain it. Somehow, God will help you attain it. Now, kilala niyo si J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Siguro hindi niyo alam, she was rejected by every publisher. Walang tumanggap sa kanya because at that time, yung idea of reading about a coven of witches, a school for witches, parang so preposterous, no? Hindi naman totoo yon, walang nangyayari. Sino ba gusto magbasa ng about witches, no? So, every author rejected her and except one gave her a second chance, and the reason kung bakit nabigyan siya ng second chance is because ayaw nga niyang basahin yung manuscript. So binigay sa kanya yung manuscript, ayaw niyang basahin. It so happen yung daughter niya uh, is looking for things to do. So ginawa niya, binigay niya yung manuscript sa daughter niya. Titignan niya, basahin mo ito. Baka you would be entertained by it. At nagulat siya when nakita niya yung kanyang daughter cannot put the book down or the manuscript down. So she was reading day and night and tinapos yung manuscript in record time and then naghahanap ng sequel. Okay, so when nakita niya yon, he became intrigued and binigyan niya si J.K. Rowling ng second chance and he published the book. So the rest is history after that, no? We know what happened. Si J.K. Rowling became now a multi-billionaire. Siya yung unang billionaire author, no? And she became very successful, no? But it's not because wala siyang successful habit. She has successful habit, no? And the person who personifies yung successful habit is none other than si Jack Canfield, yung author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. He's also a self-improvement coach. Kaya he teaches yung kanyang successful habit, no? But what we didn't know also is he was rejected by 144 publisher. So halos lahat ng publisher rejected him because at that time nobody thought sino ba magbabasa ng compilation ng stories, no? Isang libro that was written about compilation of stories, no? And then yung some of the publisher laugh at the title Chicken Soup for the Soul, napaka-corny daw, napaka-soupy, no? Parang sabaw, no? So parang recipe, yun ang sabi nila. So nobody gave him a chance except a very small publisher who later on gave him a chance. And then ang nangyari nga is now pumasok sa Guinness Book of World Record yung Chicken Soup for the Soul series for having sold more than 1 billion books, no? So the rest is history. He became a multi-millionaire because of his book series, no? And he practices and advocate doing 5 things that will move you towards your goal every day. So siya mismo, ganun ang ginagawa niyo. Even though it took years, no, for even his book to be published, ang dami niyang ginawa. Nag-radio show siya, nag-talk siya sa churches, sa mga events, gano'n. Nag-set up ng booth, gano'n. And walang publisher na gusto mag-publish ng book nila, no, until one, no, and it became history. Now let's review yung intangibles that we learned from all our talk and series, no, and we said that intangible asset are the most important right now during crisis, no, and we talk about courage na pinag-usapan na natin about using rejection as a stepping stone and building confidence and knowing what you want and also setting life goals. These are all intangibles. At sometimes inaakala natin na to be successful in life, kailangan lang natin manalo sa sweepstakes, no? But sa totoo lang, people who are truly successful, who are self-made millionaires, are people who have these intangibles in life. So parati nila pinapractice at hindi siya madaling gawin because it requires habit, it requires a change of mindset and habit, no? And it requires goal setting na hindi ginagawa ng karamihan ng tao. Now, here is a law of the lead, no? The law of the lead says that your organization will not rise above your ability to lead, no? So ibig sabihin kung hanggang diyan ka lang as a leader, hanggang diyan lang yung organisasyon mo, hindi na siya lalaki. But at the same time, the law of the lead also said that you will never rise above your ability to lead yourself. So kung hanggang diyan ka lang yung ability mo, hindi ka rin magra-rise above and your income will not rise above. Even if nanalo ka sa loto, naging multi-millionaire ka sa loto, it takes only a few months, balik ka ulit sa dati mo. Okay? Because nga, you did not improve yourself, no? And your income will not rise beyond your ability. So kung yung intangibles mo are not built properly and hindi mo siya pinapractice, even if nagkaroon ka ng pera, mawawala din yon. You will go back to wherever is yung ability mo. Okay? Now, ang sikreto dito is to build your ability, no? To build your intangibles and mga know-how. And we do this by reading self-improvement books, by enrolling in seminars, and by joining coaching programs, no? So, our next topic, we will be talking about how to manage your time. So, let's say, binudget mo na, marunong ka na mag-budget, you're now going to start building habits. Ang question is, you don't have time. Now, how do you manage your time so that magkaroon ka ng time for your successful habits? No, that's what we're going to talk about next time. Okay, but if you are really interested, I would encourage you to join our coaching program. Just go to travelitesam at g2g8life.com because building the intangibles, hindi siya nakukuha sa mga ganong short seminar. You really have to do workshop. You have to be coach. Somebody have to watch over your shoulder and then to give you tips before you're able to complete yung budget man lang, goals man lang. So that's a reason why you need to be sitting down on a course, no? And or somebody who has already done it to be coaching you. Otherwise, mahirap siyang gawin on your own. No? So I experienced that myself. So hanggang dito na lang yung ating talk. I hope I was able to help na mabuksan ang isip nyo concerning this topic. This is Coach Sammy wishing you a good to great day.